Okay, let's go over how to process a model for printing in the Meshmixer software. I like the software. The aesthetics are a little bit nicer. There's more tools in here to use, and we're going to just scrape the bare minimum surface as far as what you can do with Meshmixer. So, very powerful program, and I know probably 10% of what you can do in it. Just a couple of navigation tools. You right-click to pan and move the model around. If you hold down the scroll wheel, you can pan versus rotating. To select, you can select and draw like you would in like Photoshop. The escape button will clear your selection, and there are a lot of hotkeys to this program. So I use a lot of those hotkeys, so I'll talk through what I'm doing. The best way to select, in my mind, is actually to click off the model. Left click off the model. Draw a line where you want to remove or highlight. So we're going to remove these. And so you can see it'll highlight that. And the X button, if you go to Edit, Discard is the X button. So you hit the X button and it will remove what you just selected. So we need to do a couple things. We need to extend this model and then plane cut this model. So the first thing we're going to do is hit Control A, which is going to select the whole model. And the component that we're going to use here is to actually go to the extrude function, and we're going to click that, and the extrude function will bring up a secondary menu. There we go. So this is we're going to make some changes. So we're going to actually go to the y-axis, and we're going to do a flat end type. Now, what you're going to notice here is that this model is going to turn black and gray as far as stripes go. So you can see that we have a flat top. We've made it taller, but it's black and gray. So we're going to go over that in just a minute here. So the offset is essentially how much we're extruding it. You go the opposite direction. Obviously, we don't want to extrude it that direction. So extrude it this direction. It's black and gray. We've essentially flipped this inside out, and so we're going to need to reorient what the inside and the outside are. So we're going to hit accept, and that will then set this extrusion. But the next component we're going to do is called flipping normal, which will get it back to the correct orientation. So one more, Control A, edit, flip normals. And what this should do is get it back to the color that we're supposed to be. This is, interestingly, you do not need to do that flip normal step for the lower arch. The lower arch actually extrudes in the correct orientation, so you have no problems with that. So the last thing that we need to do is just plane cut this down so it's a little bit shorter. This is too tall to print. You can print it, but it's going to just waste resin. So you go to Edit here, and we're going to want to plane cut. Sometimes when you plane cut this, it will actually hollow out the model, so you need to reclose it. This button will flip top or bottom, which one's being thrown away. Obviously, we don't want to throw away the bottom. That's where the teeth are. And then we can drag the plane cut up and down using these buttons over here. I like to leave a couple millimeters above the gingiva to help with the aligner or retainer fabrication. You can also tilt this using the green, kind of the curve or the red curve, depending on the orientation that you want to do it. So you notice that this is a solid, so that should be good. We're going to hit accept. And now we have a extruded and cut model that is ready for 3D printing. The one thing that this program does not have that I really don't like about this program is I have no good way to label this model. I have to go into another program in order for the label to happen. So there you are, how to process a model for 3D printing in Meshmixer.